Now you're ready to create a project to do your bibliography. You're going to sign into your NoodleTools account. And your projects will come up. I suggest that you don't delete any of your projects. They stay there from year to year. It doesn't hurt that they're in there. You could go back and look at things if you need to. But you want to create a new project. You're going to click on Create New Project. All of the little radio buttons are already picked, so you don't have to do anything. You're going to type in your topic of your research paper, doing the War of 1812. And now you have your dashboard. On your dashboard, you can put your research question. You can share with your teacher. That's another video that we'll be doing. And here's where you do your works cited. So this is where you're going to put all your citations as you find them. I'm going to start with an example of a database. You would go onto our database page, choose a database, find an article. So I'm on eLibrary. I found an article here, Lest We Forget Canada's First War. I skim through it, make sure that this is something that's going to be relevant to what I need. And at the bottom is the citation for that article. So I choose, go back into my NoodleTools tab, choose Database from the drop-down, because the first question is, where did I get it from? I went to a database to get this article. Create the citation. Now it asks me, was it a journal, a magazine, or newspaper that it was originally published in? This is from this Gruff Mercury, which I may not know what that is. I'm going to go back, see if it tells me if it's a newspaper. I think it's probably a newspaper. It is. It tells me newspaper right here. So that eLibrary is nice because it tells you if it's a newspaper or a magazine. And I'm going to go back down to my citation, go back to NoodleTools, choose newspaper. This form has to be up in order for the NoodleTools to work correctly. Sometimes NoodleTools is kind of quirky. So let's get your form ready. Then you hit copy and paste a citation. If you don't do that, you can't just copy and paste that citation that the website gave you into it. So now I'm going to copy this citation, go back to NoodleTools, and paste it in the manually edited citation box. Then I also need the URL, so that's the web address. It's up here at the top of the screen. Let's see if I can put this up here. So up here is the web address, and you want to copy that. Go back to your NoodleTools tab and paste it into the URL box. Now, you have to be careful. Even though the database gives you the correct citation, sometimes they make mistakes. So even though we copied and pasted the exact citation from eLibrary into NoodleTools, there still might be some mistakes, so you do need to double check it. First of all, there's 2 periods here. There should only be 1. And then the first letter of every word in the title needs to be capitalized. So you're going to need to go back sometimes and fix a couple of the letters to make that correct. Those are usually the only mistakes that I ever see in eLibrary. So it's pretty accurate otherwise. And then once you fix those mistakes, you can hit submit. And that will save your citation right there. And it's as easy as that.